That's awesome. It's good. Hey Daniel, that's really good. Like I know I'm saying it a few times, but it is. It's really good. It's good. It's good when you start to get a handle of it or understand it, or like your dad was saying, it's clicking in. It's cool. So did you manage to now keep going with that? Like keep going, especially the rhythm side of things. And a good thing to do is to actually like after you played it, you should probably do this before, but after you played it with the rhythm side of things, like take notice of what you're doing and then go back and do it again. You know what I mean? So the idea is to gather a consistency of what you're playing, like you were doing there. You go, well, that sort of thing. So what you're doing there is fantastic, and now you kind of just build from there. Try and create like you just did there, which is really good. Try and create that rhythm, and so on, which is really good. That's good. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay. See all Ibanez. Yeah, it's a good, nice guitar. This I like it. What's that? No, no. This is about. Oh, I've had it since I got here, so about 8 or 9 years. A Fender. Excuse me. A Fender. Yep. There's a really good one called a Blues Junior. Yep. And if you can get well, that's a tube amp because a tube amp gives you that really nice tone, like and that's what you want. The sound is we'll go through all that as well. Yeah, yeah. The Blues Junior, it's only 15 watts, right? But like I used to use it at the church there, and that's a massive auditorium, and it was more than enough volume wise. But the good thing about it is with a tube amp, the more you crank it up, the better the sound. The tubes heat up, and it gets that nice sort of sound. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's electric guitar. Hey, you can play soft. All right. So did you pick out a song? It was bad. Okay. Um, how great is that God? Yeah, that's no, that's pretty easy. Can you grab it off the net? Because you really want to. The idea of the exercise is to listen to the music and see what the drums are doing, what the bass is doing, what the guitar parts are doing, and so on. Just go to YouTube. It's Chris Tomlin, the guy's name is. Tomlin, yeah. How great is that guy? It's a ripper of a song. Oh, really? Yep, just yeah, that's it. Oh, it must another version. There could be another version. That's it in. Yeah, that just to give you an idea, like of the song, just to give you an idea of how the song goes, and then you can listening. Okay, cool. Well, I'll work out the chords, and then we'll. Okay, this is what you do. All right. You can actually get the chord charts on the web as well. So you just look up "How Great Is Our God" um, chord chart, and it should be there. It's pretty much in G. So when a song's in, that's really good, Daniel. Did you enjoy doing those exercises? Cool. Okay, cool. That's the one. So what? Yep, 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 yep. That's it. That's it. Do you know those chords, Daniel? Yep. So you know G, and what about the E minor? Yeah. And what about what's the next chord? C2. Just play a normal C. You know this C? Can you see this one? That one there? A C2 is basically a so instead of it sounding like this, it'll sound like this. Now, while we're talking about twos and things, a C2 is basically a C with an added second, which is the second note in the major scale. So what you're adding now, when it could also be a ninth as well, because the scale goes in like uh, seven, eight. There's eight notes. The eighth is actually the octave, but it's still called the eighth note. And then the ninth one, which would be the same as your second one, well, the ninth note will basically be a a D, a D. So you're playing a C and you're adding the D. That's your C scale. So it's either up here. I think did we go through the one on the fifth string, starting on the fifth string? Well, yep, sure. Play it. So we go. That's where I kept making a mistake, man. See, I'll play it again. So erase that. Do not record that. No, record it. Good to make mistakes. No, it's not good to make mistakes. Good to learn from mistakes. That's the note. I'll play it again, a bit slower. Play it down. Yeah. Now that's really similar to like for example, here's the G major scale. All right. Now it all kind of fits in, and you'll see I'm going to play this in the same position, right? Which is the third fret. So we started on the C note, which is on the third fret. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a G major scale, so it's the same position, and then the pattern of notes is almost the same. So just have a look at this. I'll play it slower. So note-wise, it's different because the sound is different, but pattern-wise, it's really similar. You know, so you can play. Um, what's that? Yep. Now the scale that you did before, the last one that you played for me up here, it's the same pattern as the G scale. All right. Now the C scale is, as I say, it's in the same position except it's starting on the C note. All right. So every scale starts on the actual name of the note. So if it's a G, it starts on the G, C starts on the C, etc., etc. So, yep, chord, C chord, C chord. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So C one, which is, so you've got C, you got D, which is the second note, and then you've got excuse me, that note up there. Yeah, the ninth, which is the second, same thing. Yeah. So it's actually that's the proper. It's a bit of a stretch out there, but it's nice, isn't it? It's a very pleasant sound, isn't it? As to a normal C. Not a C there somewhere. And then there's this other C here. So you got your C there. Which is where our patterns that we've been doing, Daniel, which also, can you hear the similarity? That's like just a bit higher up. So when you're playing with like two guitar players, David and yourself, for example, right? So David's chunking away at the chords, and then you could be up here. So one guitar player is doing that, another guitar player's like I'm playing a melody but still staying with the chords, you know. And then you've got your piano and your bass player and so on. And the idea of music, Daniel, is that each person brings what he's got and enhances the whole music, like the whole song, rather than having everyone just play on the C when it's supposed to be a C, you know. So that's why you have different inversions, they're called. So you've got the C chord here, and then you've got these patterns that we've been doing. I really like these patterns here because it can really, like, you can really add so much to the song. You can add so much to whatever the other guitar player is doing, or where the music is. You can really add. You can add little melodies. That's it. That's it. That's it. So all it is like all those notes around there. Then you just pick the ones that your ear sits good with. Like, for example, that note there by itself doesn't quite fit. You know what I mean? But when you add it to the whole chord, if you're playing like, you can spend hours of fun just doing that. You know what I mean? And that's the idea of that. It's a really easy way. It's a bit of a trick actually, because it's not a trick, but it's just really easy to the rest of the band's playing in the key of C, which is your C, your G, and your F. You'll get onto those chords as well. They're like your major sounding chords in the key. C, G, and F. All right. So what we'll do with this music is, right, I'll work out a little intro for you, or you can even do that as well. So in the key of G. So what was it? Splendor of the King. So we've got G. So where I'd start here is I'd go straight to so yeah, so I'd even go a little bit higher than that actually. What's that? That was actually an E minor, which is part of a G. I'm jumping around a bit, eh? So G. Now there's another G up here. All right. And what you can do is so put a bit of delay on it there. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So they're all the basic notes in the chord. Splendor of the King. You get what I mean, Daniel? There's a G there. Okay, just before I forget, what I also want you to do is the notes on the guitar. Have you got a diagram of the notes on the guitar, Daniel? Yep. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. It's really easy to do, and all it is like, okay. So the name of the string is the E. You know the names of the strings, Daniel? Okay, so you've got E, A, D, G, B, and E. All right. So with that, it's just like music here. So you've got E, then you've got an F, Then you've got 2 steps up from that a G. And 2 steps up, you've got an A. Again, 2 steps up, B. Next to that one, half step, a C. A whole step up, a D. And a whole step up, an E. So the key is that there's 2 notes that are always together, 2 whole notes that are always together on the guitar, which is your E and F. So E, F, and your B and C. Sorry, it's B and C, yeah. B and C. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yep. That's it. No, it's between the A and the B. It's that note there. If you can actually write out just on a piece of paper. You can draw a neck if you want. You don't have to, but just write out like the number 1 up to the number 12, and each of the notes that correspond to the fret. Like, do you know what I mean? Yep. Okay. Because what that determines is like where you're going to start. So the reason I say that is because up here you've got a G chord, and up here you've got our version of it, or the inversion of it. It's not our version. It's the inversion of it, which is the G. Okay. Maybe, hopefully, the video will turn out and you can watch it back, because I know I've kind of jumped around a bit there. Um, write out the frets to know the notes on the E string and the A string. So same with the A string. The A string is A. It would be a B here. Next to the B is a C. Then you have a D. Then you've got an E. Next to the E is a F. Next to the F is a G. Next to the G is an A. Not next to, a tone apart. All right. So if you write it out so that you can pinpoint where to start. So if I said to you, okay, Daniel, can you play me a E scale starting on the A string? That would basically be up here. That's the E note. And then our what we've been doing, Daniel, is here's our E here. So on the D string, you do the same thing as well. So you write out on the D string. So we'll do 3 strings. You can do them all if you want, but you only need to do the 3 to start off with, because we're actually playing chords and scales relating to these 3 strings: E, A, and D. All right. So the D comes from. So here's a G. Have a listen to the sound of this one. Same sound. Okay. That's it. Because the patterns are always the same. All right. 4 on the particular string, the patterns are always the same. So this here's a C scale. Here's a E scale, E major scale. E major scale on the E string. Okay. Now when it gets to the D string, the pattern changes a little bit. Yep. Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much. See, if you have the understanding of the notes in the scale, as in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the notes in the scale, then you can pretty much put together your chords and so on. There's a little bit more to it, but basically there's your start right there. That's it. Well, what we're doing are 2 octave scales. So you've got one. There's 1 octave, and then 2 octaves plus upper fourth. So yeah, yep. Well, have a listen to that song. The old how great is that song? Yeah. Is there anything else that you listen to music wise? Wow, man. So 7 plus 7. Yeah, yeah. Everything's on YouTube, man. You know, the old YouTube. Yeah. There's another band. I don't know if you heard it called Jesus Culture. Have a look at that. 'Cause some of their songs are really good, like really good guitar, like this, that sort of that kind of stuff, and what have you. And yes, their songs are pretty good. As with anyone, you get some rubbish, you get some good, bad. That's it. Yeah, yeah. I've got to. It's actually our 21st anniversary today. Thank you.